degree, because when it comes to the procurement process and evaluating different bids, when it came to trying to evaluate and understand the social value offer from different bidders, there was challenges in sort of understanding which bidder, the different social values they're offering, and which one is sort of offering the greater benefits. And so that was kind of the birth of the TOM system, if you like. And we set out to answer this question in a procurement context. How do you measure and compare different social value proposals from bidders? We didn't try and answer this question alone. We gathered a group of stakeholders, now known as the National Social Value Task Force, around 40 organisations that represented all different sectors in the industries, public, private, third sector, small, medium enterprises. And we set out to answer this question together. It took 18 months of development. And there were a few very, very important sort of principles. Obviously Nicola's talked about principles. These was kind of the principles that were important for this group as we set out to answer that question. One was actually, whatever we create, we really want to make sure it's open source and available to all. So if it was a sort of a social value tool designed for the procurement context, we want to make it really available, and that continues to be. So that was important for us. Objectivity, we decided, was really, really important. The procurement process is very rigorous, very risk averse. It obviously needs to be really, really robust. And so we wanted to focus on kind of objective, tangible actions that businesses could take that data tells us there's a positive benefit to society. And that also makes sure that the sort of robustness of when decisions are made, different social value offers are evaluated, they're kind of defensible in a way, because that was clearly really important for procurement professionals. And transparency as well is really important. There's no sort of black box that's hiding any sort of methodology to the TOM system. We wanted it to be open and available for all people to understand and interpret. The final principle, which is really important, is given it is the social value, it tells about those wider benefits that can be unlocked through how a contract is delivered, then we had to think about how additionality comes into this, and making a framework that was really simple to apply that lens of sort of additionality. How can bidders go kind of above and beyond the contract obligations? So what we created is called the TOM system. TOM stands for its structure in a way, so it's a framework based around themes, outcomes, and measures. And I've got a worked example to show you. And what we were aiming to do with this framework was to strike a real balance between sort of rigor, but also usability in different contexts, knowing it's going to be applied throughout the procurement cycle. So not just the sort of bidder tendering stage, but also contract management as well. So this is just a sort of an illustration, a snapshot of the TOM system. It's only 4 individual measures. There's obviously, over 100 different measures in the full framework, but it gives you a sense of what it looks like. So on the far left, we have the different themes. These are the different visionary sort of elements that most organizations want to see achieved for a flourishing society. You then have outcomes, and these are the more specific elements within each theme of what organizations obviously want to try and strive for. The measure in the middle is that tangible activity that an organization can deliver. Clearly you need a unit in terms of what is the sort of the specific tangible element that you sort of track and track progress on. And then there's the proxy value.